Ma ma ma. Ma ma ma. Ma ma ma. Ma. Ma 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 ma. Ma 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 ma. Ma 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 ma. Ma ma ma. Ma 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 ma. Ma 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 ma. Ma 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 ma.
When you think of robotics and you think of androids and things like that, one person springs to mind. Isaac Asimov, the man that created the 3 laws of robotics. The first law being that a robot may not injure a human being or, through interaction, allow a human being to come to form. Now, if you ask me, enslaving humans doesn't necessarily cause any harm. Welcome to Android Authority Episode 1, and in this series, we are going to be exploring that very thing. Humans being enslaved by robots, okay? It's one of those things that we talk about and we theorize in the future that one day technology will overtake us, so much so that robots take over. AI, ChatGPT, all those exciting things that we talk about. Will they take over us and just enslave us all? Maybe. Will they eventually help us to go to the different planets and travel in time and maybe fix things that we never knew we needed, or maybe replace all of our jobs? Who knows? The plan for this series is that very thing. We're going to explore the thoughts and feelings of Leo, a returning character from a previous series, the Mechanoid Mastery series, which I did a few months ago. Very good series. It will if you do want to watch that, it will catch you up on a lot of the characters that are featured in this series. Not needed, but definitely recommended. And Leo at the end of last series, he was a psi-casting mechanator super soldier android that we created, and it's just such a fantastic character. He was a bubbly little android that wore a cowboy hat and rode mufflers around and was very much loved by everyone within the community. And then the incident happened at the end of last series. He accidentally, potentially, blew everybody up with a nuke. Now, he did survive. He's an android. He has been ever so slightly downgraded, as we show off with the vanilla expanded android mod. Very nice mod. Very excited to use it for the very first time. Leo ID 726 is a prototype of these androids. Extremely good shooting, extremely good melee, pretty good social, intellectual, and crafting as well, and comes with the traits of psychopath, bloodlust, wanderlust, and straight. I'm not sure why we needed to emphasize that Leo the android is straight, but, you know, we move. And the other 4 characters that we have for this series is a return of a legend within the channel. Jones, Cook, the man, the myth, the legend, returns with the very same stats that we last saw him with. Decent in construction, decent in every stat, with crafting, medical, and intellectual being his standout. Brave, optimist, hard worker, iron stomach, kind, and also straight. And he is a fantastic returning character that hopefully we can see the end of his story. As I once said, that we would take Jones to the moon and the stars to help him escape and find his friends that he'd once lost. Then we have Bobber Jean, the big man himself, good at cooking, good at crafting, good at medical, just kind of a normal bloke. Robbie Roundy, the dwarf man himself, the monkey child we know and love. 19 in mining, decent in medical, another just kind of all-rounder character. And then we have Jean Enos, genius. Oh, I love it. It's one of the best names I've ever done. Very good at medical, very good at intellectual, and decent at cooking. These 4 slaves are ours. They're ours to keep and ours to look after, and we're going to see how their story develops. Now, we're going to have a very interesting in-house rule for this series that Jones, Bobber, Robber, and Jean, they will not stay as slaves. They will develop as characters, and as Leo becomes more friendly with them, we'll go from there. At the moment, they're all just acquaintances. You know, they've been upset. They've been enslaved by their once friend. We'll see how the relationships develop, and they'll become friends later as the series develops. Now, we are playing with several other very exciting mods that I'm looking to be showing off this series. Rimworld 2, Empire 1.4 continued, and the Rim Ruins. 3 massive mods that I am so excited to be trying out and using all together. So the plan for this series is very, very simple. World domination with androids, alright? I want to take over the entire world, turn this all into android stuff, and then go to the moon. Take Jones to the moon and set him free and let him do his own little things. So if you enjoy any of this series and are excited to see what happens today, consider liking, subscribing, and make sure you tell your mum about it. Let's get into things, and let's start by actually looking at the base, right? They've started off in this little camp. They left the nuclear irradiated area that Leo accidentally blew up, and they've moved to a little campsite here. There's a bedroom here, very basic sort of functionalities, and they're very low on resources. The map we start on is not the final map that we'll stay on. We're not going to be here forever, here for a very limited time, because there's no resources here. There's a few bits and pieces left over from previous millennia, some steel knocking about, and some just leftover detritus that we can deconstruct for resources. But once we get a pristine ruins pop-up, once we get an ancient complex, we're going to get out of here. We just don't need to be here. It's not where we want to be, and we do want to be on the move all the time. That is the plan. Then going through our ING religion very quickly. Android authority supremacist, craft culture, and mechanoid supremacy for very obvious reasons. Highlights of the ideology is that alien slavery is honorable. Androids are respected, and that is honestly about it. And as this is a continuation of the Mechanoid Mastery series, we have a few things that are playing on from that series. Jones, Jean, Bobber, and Robbie, all of them are totally incapable of violence. They do all have mech links installed, however, which means eventually we could potentially go into mech tech again. It's not something I want to prioritize this series, but something we could make use of. So Leo is currently our only colony defender. He has been equipped, however, with a legendary Ghost Revolver, which is going to be extremely powerful, especially in the early raids of this series. Which brings us to the other thing with this series. We are playing with the fantastic Igor Invader, a storyteller I've not used before, but basically just makes things pretty difficult. So we're going to see how that goes and hope that it doesn't completely ruin. So the first agenda on the list for this series is to make this base somewhat more livable for our colonists. All I'm going to be doing, upgrading the rooms, giving them basic amenities, things that will make them fall in love with our leader, Leo, make him seem so much more likable than he already is as the psychopath he is. Giving them an actual eating and rec area, kitchen and butchery area. You know, starvation, a slight issue. An issue that most people tend to have when I forget to give them food. Thankfully, there's a lot of animals on the map this time around, and there's a lot of things that we can eat and enjoy. The only problem that I have is I don't know what we feed. Feed? Leo? I don't know how the Android Expanded mod works whatsoever. It's something that I want to learn, but I don't know how easy it is to be able to do at this early stage of the game. I've now gone around as well and selected every single ore that is currently available on the map and got rid of it, okay? There's some components, there's a little bit of steel, and that is it. Like I said, we are bare for resources. What we've got on this map, that's it for the time being. The sooner we can leave, honestly, the better. I'm just waiting for one of those quests to pop so we can move on, get some more resources, and keep going with our objectives. So our objectives, at the moment, all it's going to be is resources. I seem to remember typing this out. Very often. Very recently, in fact. Typing that out quite a lot. I think the other one I want to do is actually, like, defenses. This time around, seeing as Leo is our only colonist to defend ourselves, we're going to actually need to go for some sort of... I don't want to say this. It's going to make me feel sick. Kill box? We need to make ourselves a little bit more defendable, honestly. Otherwise, Leo is going to get absolutely obliterated. And we could take ourselves some colonists, some prisoners, some slaves, whatever you want to call them, that are capable of violence. But who knows? With the Gauss rifle, I feel like we're not leaving that many people alive. So I guess one of the first big buildings to build, as well as our eating area, is probably a prison. We have these little individual rooms here. I treated them to give them individual bedrooms, all right? Leo might be a psychopathic monster, but he still loves his old friends at heart. Like, he still has a connection to them. So maybe we actually build a prison that is slightly less ethical. Yeah, those ethical prisons, you know what they're like. And already we have a slave running wild. Robbie has decided to run wild because of the hideous environment. Nothing to do with wanting to escape slavery. It's just that it's a horrible environment. Let's just arrest him. Send him back to prison, and I guess we have to tame him? This is not really how I want to start things, you know, but I guess it could be worse. And catatonic. Really? Jesus Christ. You know, looking after a load of slaves is a lot harder than I thought. The hypothermia, the malnutrition, the catatonic breakdown. These slaves are useless, aren't they? They're just not very good at what they're meant to be doing. And so as things begin, we look at who is doing all the work. Out of all these slaves we've got 3 lovely slaves, and Leo is the one doing all the work. Our only colonist that isn't a slave is doing absolutely everything. The slaves are over sleeping. Malnutrition severe. Don't give me that. Don't give me that, Jones. Get on. Do some bloody work. Oh, God. Leo is a slave to himself. A slave to work. Is that really the management's role around a colony? To be a slave to what they already do? Kind of deserve it, you know? Kind of deserve it, Leo. I'm not going to lie. This is obviously going to be very temporary. As we sort of get things set up, we maybe get more slaves, more androids, more of anything on the go. Robots. Any form of robot. There's a robot mod that I'm very excited to be showing off this series. Ha ha ha. Any form of robot would be fantastic. A group of Neanderthals from the Bega. Hello, Bizaza. Not Bizaza. Christ, homie's got the Zaza. No, Biaza. You've got very strange looking eyes. What is wrong with you? Leo, you need to come deal with this. I honestly think Leo will be fine with this, you know? He has got an extremely powerful weapon. I can't see him struggling, honestly. So Leo versus Bizaza. The Ghost Rifle. How is it doing? Very good. It's just as good as I expected. We've just shot through him several times. Shot off a shoulder, shot off a leg, shot out his kidney. Yeah, like I expected. This is not going to be an issue, honestly. Leo is going to have no problem at all at this early stage. It's the latest game that we're going to have issues with. And since it looks like we'll be here for a while, lol, Jones think you should give your faction a name. Jones is currently catatonic and can't talk, but yeah, all right, Jones. What should your faction be called? I mean, we're going to be the Android Authority. Obviously, that's what we are. That's who we are. And with the settlement, what should we call the settlement? Leo's Lay-By. Don't know why. I just like the idea of it, you know? It makes it sound like it's a homely place. A place where you come to rest your weary eyes as a traveller. Not where you get ghost rifled through the forehead by an android. You know, a bit of, false advertising. What can I say? And there we are. Our prison is complete. Very, Rimworld at the moment. A nice wooden shed with a few sleeping spots in it. I mean, the perfect, ideal prison for Rimworld. Let's be fair. At the moment, it can hold us a current solid 6 prisoners. We could fit in a few more, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Woohoo! This bad boy stores 12 prisoners. Oh, yes. But just perfect. Perfect. And another raid already. A group of wasters from the Poison Gang. Smogisk. That's a fantastic name. You know what? That's a great name. We don't know anything about them, obviously, because they are unknown to us. We barely know what's going on. I mean, we were always isolationists back in the day. Smogisk, have you ever come face-to-face with a Ghost Revolver? Probably not. Another probably easy one for Leo, not gonna lie. And Bobber has decided to flow into a sadistic rage in the middle of this raid. You're gonna take your mood out on the prisoners. We have only one prisoner, and that is Robbie, your good friend. Don't do that. Leo, can you shoot that man, please? Don't stand there. Shoot him. There we go. Oh, perfect. We kept him alive. He has, unfortunately, Psychite dependent. Has he brought any Psychite with him? No. We don't know anything about him either. Interesting. Do we keep this guy? And he might be good. Oh, I mean, we can see what his stats are if we look down here, but that's cheating. Shit. I can't help but look down there now. I think we don't keep this person. Just because they're Psychite dependent, I can't even keep up with my own stuff as it is. So I'm just going to leave him out here. I might strip him naked, but that'll be about it. And Leo did, unfortunately, take a couple of hits there for some reason. A couple of cuts. Whole body neutral loss, which is not good whatsoever. And unlike an actual human, it's just repairs. He's an android. It's very quick and easy to repair him. It just takes time. That is it. Neutral loss is minor. So he has lost some of his neutral-amine in his body. Now we are going to have to get neutral-amine in order to keep him topped up and to make more of our androids. Can we see like a neutral-amine level? I don't know. I don't think there is. I guess we go off this stat here that there's a minor neutral loss. So we need to get some neutral-amine, and I guess we just need to wait for something to pop up. We could check out this ancient danger here. There might be some in there, potentially. And Jones is back up. Welcome, my friend. I believe we can have some fun around here. It's okay. Yes, that is correct. We have wooden horseshoe pins. I've built a wooden Nerf target. And I thought it would be a fantastic idea to build a wooden basketball hoop against the prisoner's shed. Just in case they felt like sleeping. You know, a few balls against the wall, wake them up, let them know what's going on. But having Jones back is brilliant because it increases the chance of recruiting Robbie back. Robbie, I do miss you and your dwarf ways. I want you to go and mine things and get me some more resources. And with that, there's not much else we can do at the moment. We're kind of waiting for something to pop. By that, I mean we need research, resources, anything, basically. Which makes it sound like I've already run out of things. No, I have not. We're waiting for things to start. So I think the next job to do is, now that we have a eating area, we have a kitchen, we have got all those things, we start on research, actually. This is one of the few series that I am running where I'm not using semi-random research. For a start, we can actually choose what we want to research. And honestly, I don't know what to start with first. And there Leo is playing a fantastic game of basketball, and all the while making it sound like he's destroying the place. Cheers. I appreciate that, Leo. Why have they made the sound of the basketball hoop that? It's so unnerving. And Leo is complimenting Jean Enos on their social skills. Holy wow. I complimented Jean. That's fantastic. Leo, I'm proud of you. Slowly, he's becoming friends with them. At the moment, they actually quite like Leo. Apart from Robbie. Robbie does not like Leo at all. There seems to be like this strange association with Leo. Like they all like him, but Leo doesn't know how to like them back. Jones considers Leo a friend, but Leo does not consider any of them a friend. I think we have to have Leo think that they're a friend rather than the other way around, because I feel like they wouldn't force themselves to become a colonist to Leo, you know? I definitely think he's the one in the power position here, you know? And a quest has become available. The Solitary Praetor. Now, obviously, we're not going to become friends with the Empire, and it's not something that I want to do this time around. But they're being chased by a man-hunting koala, and honestly, if you're trying to escape a man-hunting koala and can't outrun it, you can probably suffer. You know, this is natural selection by as far as I'm concerned. So that quest is going to go into the bin, and good luck, I guess. But a raid has come as a result of us being horrible to them. Beggar Nation again, and it's my mate Troz Bragg User, the 71-year-old bloke. Leo, can you come and sort him out, please? It is just one bloke, isn't it? I think it is. I hope it's just one bloke. Leo versus Troz Brooks. Like I said earlier, all these early stage raids are not going to mean anything to us, especially with that Gauss revolver. Like, Leo is going to bleeding out in 14 hours. Holy moly, Leo, you are absolutely awful. You're too cocky, Leo. That's your problem. This is his problem. He's too cocky. He's been stabbed in the shoulder because he got too close. You need to repair yourself immediately. That's crazy that he's actually taken that much damage already. I'm shocked. Yeah, I think we're very lucky. The neutral loss is maintained at minor. Any more than minor, and we're having problems. And I hadn't realized, but we're playing with a mod that increases our skills above 20. Now, I hadn't realized I'd installed that mod, but Leo shooting is now at 22. So I guess eventually Leo could literally be like the most insane shot you've ever seen in the game. And our research bench has been built. A lovely research room. Very cozy. Cozy is the word I'm looking for. What is the first research project that we are going to undertake? I'm not sure. I think we want to aim for vehicles as our first research, so we can actually travel around, pick up more stuff and things like that. I think that'd be a really good one to pick up. Okay, well, for some reason, it won't let me select any research. Not quite sure why. But it seems I've already got a broken mod pack on my hands. Apparently, it's locked. Biofuel refining, but I don't know what by, because I've already got electricity. So, I'm pretty confused. Every single research is apparently locked. And I don't know why, and I don't know what I'm missing either. Maybe it's because I don't have a R&D bench, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to have to look through things to work out what it is, but I'm very confused. And new lovers. Oh, dear. Oh god, I hope nobody's fallen in love with the android. You're the best thing that I could have hoped for in my life. Jean and Bobber want to sleep together. Now, if I vaguely throw my mind back to the previous series that these 5 colonists were together, I think Jean and Bobber were in a relationship in that series as well. I think we're having a repeat. I think these two were in a relationship beforehand. Whoa, that's crazy. I'm going to have to go back and look at the old series to check that. But I think we've got a power couple. We've got a power couple on my hand. Bless you two. This is the most romantic thing I've ever seen. Thank you for, blessing me with this. And I think on that note, I'm going to call this episode here. I've done everything I wanted to do this episode. I've built the base up. I've got stuff sorted. I've got food. Everybody's happy. Yeah, everybody's kind of happy. Robbie is very upset, but, they need to be tamed again. You know how it is. Everything's been done this episode. Unfortunately, yeah, research is broke. I don't know. Now, I'm not sure if I said at the beginning of this episode, but this mod pack will not be available to you guys to download for this series because I had to do so many workarounds to get it to work. And I obviously, as you can tell with research not working whatsoever, it's still not quite right. I'm going to figure out how the mod pack is and what's wrong with it between now and next episode and go from there. So if you have enjoyed today's episode and are excited to see all the adventures that Bobber and Jean will get up to in their slave world, consider liking, subscribing, and make sure you tell your mum about it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.